Welcome to Agape Ministries. This is Pastor Sam, and today I'm back in the park giving you a short devotional about what's possible if you have faith. And this message is going to be backed up by scriptures. By the way, I highly encourage you to be outdoors as much as possible. I was walking, jogging earlier today, and now it's time for some Bible study. So I brought with me my Bible. This is the Holy Bible, and today we're going to study from the lips of Jesus Christ himself what is possible in this world based on my experience of what happened to me when I was 5 years old. A quick synopsis: I stepped into a multi-dimensional portal or channel, was teleported, was missing for about 10 minutes. My mother was crazy. We were in the mountains. She thought I went over the ledge or the edge, went into the abyss. Long story short, I reappeared with very, very vast amounts of knowledge or data that was given to me in the language of mathematics. Not English, not French, not Japanese, because that is inconsequential. If you were born in China, you would speak Chinese. If you were born in France, you would probably speak French. If you were born in Japan, you would speak Japanese. But that's not the language of the universe. This is just a arbitrarily decided upon medium of communication or code. Very primitive code, with writing system and sounds, arigato, that kind of thing. Merci beaucoup, como estás, that type of thing. It's total nonsense when it comes to the communication of God. He does not speak human languages. He speaks a much more profound method of relaying what he wants to relay, and that method is mathematics. It's the most fundamental thing in the universe. So today we're going to review what Jesus said would be possible if you had faith. So I'm going to open up the Bible, and we're going to read today St. John chapter 14, verse 12. And so it says, okay, I'm going to read it to you, and we're going to focus on this together because it is very, very important to read. So it says right here, I hope you could see it: "Truly, truly, I say to you, whoever believes in me will also do the works that I do, and greater works than these will he do, because I am going to the Father. Whatever you ask in my name, this I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask me anything in my name, I will do it." So as you can see, this is recorded in the Gospel of St. John, chapter 14, verse 12. And what is the importance of this? Well, Jesus himself tells you that anything is possible. However, when you talk to people today, they don't believe in anything. I've interviewed Daniel, that you will see on the plaza. He doesn't believe in anything. He says that, walking on the water, that's just for God. Healing the sick, that's for God. Nothing is possible. He does not believe in anything except what is in front of his nose. When I share with people, me being Pastor Sam here with Agape Ministries, I say they shouldn't be just praying, like asking God for stuff. They should be prostrate, face down on the ground, not knees on the ground, face down before God. Do you believe that this is too much? In America, not going to fly. People are too proud, too cocky.
I believe that
it's for Eastern people in the East. It will be perfect, not for Americans.
No, I believe they're set in their ways, and
they're not going to do it, right?
They're not going to do it.
Now, if after COVID there will be earthquakes, volcanoes, there will be chaos, will they start doing that? What I'm recommending, or not? Still not.
No,
never. So they're that proud, huh? They're that proud.
I feel that and once again, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I feel that they're that proud. I mean, if you go back in their beliefs and their religion,
yep,
they're very. We would be fortunate to have some of the what is the word I'm looking for? Some of the standings and some of the beliefs that they have. You know what I'm saying?
No, but remember Jonas in the Old Testament. He was sent by God to Nineveh. And he asked Ninevites, the residents of the city of Nineveh, to kneel down and to put their face on the ground.
Right.
And the city was spared. God did not destroy the city. So how come Ninevites fell to the ground, but people in North America don't want to fall to the
Because
ground?
nowadays, and as the years have evolved, as time evolved, and people has evolved, pride has gotten to.
But it's from the demons.
But it's also pride, and you can put pride, as a negative demon. Sometimes pride can be good, and it can be a good thing.
Give me one
And
example.
also,
Give me one example.
Okay. A person could be proud that they're of their heritage.
Oh no, that's just a figure of speech. That's a metaphor. That's a metaphor.
They can be proud of their heritage.
No, but
as far as
not praying to God, that's is that good or bad?
That's bad.
That's bad. So you agree with me?
Yeah.
See, we're going to change that worldwide. Why? Because there are going to be earthquakes and volcanoes. When that hits in California, California will be goodbye. It's going to be in the ocean. 55 million people will die instantly. The rest of the country will be in shock. And I will be saying, get on the ground, pray to God. And if people will not realize that that's the only way, like Ninevites, to be saved, who's going to save them? Nobody. It's already starting. You see, wars, it's not rumors of wars, wars are starting. Armenia was already invaded by Azerbaijan in the independent region of Artsakh. If you do the news, you know, wars are everywhere around the globe. And so, Daniel, the point is, the only thing that God might hear today from us is what will be on what the Bible calls contrite spirit. Contrite spirit meaning we got nothing else left. We just fall to the ground, ask God for His forgiveness and guidance. That's it. If that's a laughable matter, meaning if people are going to hear the message and say, that's stupid. I mean, who's going to fall to the ground? I mean, there's nothing else. God is done with this planet. It's going to be destroyed. Just like, remember the flood? Remember the story? Noah was found. The only one person. Noah and his family got spared. The rest got killed. It's very unfortunate because that means he's not living to his fullest potential. So we're going to change that today. I'm going to demonstrate to you that anything and everything is possible. And there is a force that keeps you from achieving those goals. And that force is called the demonic force. Demons, or the dark force, or Iblis in Arabic. Our Muslim brothers and sisters have obviously this comprehension of the other side as well. They call it Shaitan or Iblis. It is very similar to, in Christianity, what we would call the demons. Who are demons and what is their role? How do they keep you from reaching your potential, your full potential? Well, it's very simple. They are spirit beings who don't have physicalities, who were present at the time of creation. It's long before humanity was on this planet. And their role is to essentially put a monkey wrench in your path, or to distract you from the path, to distract you with indoctrination that comes from them, which comes from those who own the media. And in the media, in social media, any kind of media, if you have a computer screen, you're being indoctrinated, you're being bamboozled, deceived. That's just what they do with the school system. From the moment you're born, you're being indoctrinated. From the moment you hear your mother's or father's first words, whoever your parent is today is terrible. You don't even have a nucleus of a family. The devil has destroyed it. Remember, there's so many single parents today. It's unfortunate. It's terrible, 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 terrible. But let's say you still have a traditional family. So you have a mother and a father. So what is there? You hear the sounds, you repeat them. You learn the language. Then you go to kindergarten, then you go to school, then you go to, let's say, a university or college. You're being indoctrinated every step of the way to be essentially a good servant of the system. First for your parents, then for the society, and then so on and so forth. So we're going to change that. I'm going to open up your mind and tell you that that's all nonsense. Because in the eyes of eternity, we come here to this planet for, let's say, if you get to live to be 90, that's about 5 minutes in the eyes of eternity. So if you're already 30 or 40, you've lived half of that. So you've lived 2.5 minutes out of 5. So what does it tell us? That means if you don't know who you are by the time you're 40, you're kind of lagging behind in a bad way. So we're going to change that. I will share with you what I've learned on the other side. The information is so vast that it cannot be even put in words. It's impossible to put in words. It was a question-answer session. So I would ask a question in that mathematical language, and I would receive an answer. And the speed at which this session was going was, possibly 1 trillion questions per second, if you can picture that. So whatever I'm communicating to you is like dial-up connection, dial-up modem. As you know, there's a DSL modem a little bit faster. So, you can get up to 20 megabits per second. And then there is a cable modem that you can go up to 500 megabits per second or even 1 gigabit per second. And now they're talking about 10 gigabits per second. It's called, it's a new technology, DOCSIS 3.1, that allows to get up to that speed of 10 megabits per second. Well, then there is communication between telephone companies that lay fiber optic cable between, let's say, the United States and the UK or Japan, that goes up to 80 gigabits per second, very fast speed. But that does not compare to the speed at which my communication was happening on the other side while I was going on the mountains. It was much faster speed. And again, the language much more, it was a different level of communicating. It was not a human language. It was language of mathematics, so it was more fulfilling. It's more full. So I will try to share with you as much as I can in this brief message to give you enough information so you can apply it in your daily life and it'll be useful. So number one, meditation, prayer. As soon as you get up, pray over water, positive thoughts. Don't read the news, the newspapers. Don't watch the news. Don't check your nonsensical internet. That's all garbage. That's indoctrination. Demons want you to be tied to their channel of, they're basically controlling your mind. So they can possess you directly. Those are the people who foam at the mouth. You could see in mental asylums, people who were on drugs. Drug is basically a tool for the demons to influence you. It's just a shortcut for them. For the masses, the 99% of the population, 98% of the population who don't use drugs, they're controlled by the media. For example, a notion that in Los Angeles, California, parents give their graduating daughter who graduates from high school a breast augmentation surgery as a gift for graduation. Now get this. And you cannot even tell them that they're doing something wrong, is a form of demon indoctrination. So in California, it's okay. They call it cool. Yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. She's got to look better, man. Self-confident. No, it's total nonsense. Demon-possessed kind of demon mentality. And you cannot even tell them that it's demonic. They don't understand. They're in California, in a little schizophrenic bubble. And by the way, in the state of California has 86% schizophrenics of the entire population. So it's paradise for people who are therapists. And in California, therapists have to go to another therapist before they go to their therapy session to help their clients. It's out of control. To get this, a therapist, psychiatrist, goes get some pills. He needs to go to get some pills, or she, to go to a therapy to help her or his client, because it's so bad in California. But in California, everybody's on drugs. Everybody's, practically, in the San Fernando Valley. That's the epicenter for the porn industry. Prostitution is there. Google that. You'll see what's going on there. And it's okay for them. They don't see it as they cannot fathom that it's outside influence because they don't believe in demons. So it's very, very smart. The technique that the demons use is very smart. So they camouflage themselves, or if you don't know this word, they disguise themselves as if they don't exist. So if you believe in demons, you're a dummy. That's the message they project, meaning it's outdated mythology. But they're real. They're as real as me. You see my hand right here. I'm pointing, right? So that's number one. That's why you need to be praying to God every morning and asking for God's protection. He will send his angels to protect you and guard you in everything you do. You do it over water, filtered water with some lemon. standing up for half an hour, then eat a grapefruit. So if you need to lose some weight, that will help you, that will kick in. Your metabolism will start working better and you will lose a bunch of weight. So be active, always outdoors, fresh air. Don't watch the media, don't allow to be indoctrinated. Read a Bible, read some kind of a spiritual, just meditate in the nature. You don't need to do anything, just be in the nature. And that is enough. There's a lot of this mathematical code that's encoded in this reality with the trees, with the birds, with the animals that you see, the rabbits, the squirrels. Enough for you to get that peace of mind and inner tranquility and get closer to God, indeed, because that's His creation. He created it for us. Every time you see a rabbit, you're supposed to enjoy. You're supposed to rejoice. Your spirits are elevated. Now, if that doesn't do anything for you, that means you're in serious trouble, my friend. Yeah, because if you see a hopping rabbit and that doesn't elevate your spirits, there's a lot of damage that's been done to your psyche. You're damaged. You've been on the wrong path all your life. A rabbit is supposed to elevate your spirits. Any animal, just like when you see a child who sees a dog or a cat or a rabbit, and they jump and leap with joy. That's how your soul should be. And if you don't have that, that means you're not right. You're on the dark side. You need some therapy. You need some kind of help. This ministry will help you at least understand that, so you understand how the world operates. So we're moving forward. Some useful tips how to deal with this reality of demon oppression, demon possession, and indoctrination by the dark side. Television, computer screen, everything is, if you haven't noticed, somebody pays for that. So lately, I've been seeing a lot of pop-up commercials on YouTube. A movie. It's a full-featured movie, supposedly, I don't know, family style. And in that scene, it's just a preview of a movie. Now get this. A teenage boy comes up to his father, a boy like 15, a boy. You clearly hear his voice. It's already changing to a man's voice. And he says, "Dad, I have my first period," or "I'm pregnant," or something like that. Now, somebody's paying for that garbage, to be brainwashing the little children to think that it's okay for a boy to be pregnant or have a period. That is demonic garbage, satanic, demonic, darkest thing on the planet. Somebody's funding that garbage, putting money into it, then putting on TV so people would be programmed. You see, but that comes from the demons. So demons use people with money to propagate their agenda and confuse the masses. Again, I'm just sharing with you how the system works, so you understand this. It's not very complicated. So I can give you a million examples like that. This is just one latest example that I remember just by watching a preview on YouTube. This is how demons operate. A real-life example. So they're promoting their homosexual message, the pedophilia message. And you've heard about Pizzagate. Of course you have. There's a network of restaurants where you can order some children to have sex with them, and then you kill them, and you just, basically pick up some orphans throughout the world. But in the United States, in the Midwest, like Nebraska, Missouri, Kansas, all those states, they pick them up, send them to Washington, D.C., New York City area, and then you go to a certain restaurant and you order your food, and then you order a child while you're ordering the food. Just Google Pizzagate. That's what they do. It's a demonic realm for the ultra wealthy, and they try to actually, bring the guy who is picking out those children. His name is Lawrence King from Nebraska, and he got 4 years in prison for bank fraud, not for child trafficking, but for bank fraud, because he got off the hook. His clients were some of the judges and the law enforcement. Everybody this whole goes all the way up. So it's all very, very, very corrupt system. So if you think you got democracy, my friend, you're badly mistaken. You've got demons upon demons upon demons controlling those people, and they just wear suits and ties, so they look like upstanding citizens, but they're pedophiles, most of them. They're not even interested in female prostitutes anymore. It's like the thing of the past from the 70s. They're interested in children, and so they kill the children, drink the blood, and it's the just Google, there's a movement called Spirit Cooking by Marina Abramovich. She's the one that's pushing that message. Crazy, crazy, crazy bitch she is. She's like demon possessed, like incarnate. So this is just an example of how this world operates with all of its demonic presence in this planet. And the reason why I read to you the words of Jesus himself from John 14:12 is to give you an idea how everything is twisted. Jesus said, yeah, you can do all those things, but today people say, no, pedophilia is fine. No, giving a breast augmentation surgery is good, but I don't believe I can heal somebody, or I don't believe I can walk on the water, or I don't believe what Jesus did. He says, yeah, you can. And they say, nah, not really. And so that's the dilemma we're having. We're having these indoctrination machine that's been programming you all your life. You believe that more than the source of all life, which is God. So I'm here to change that. My ministry is to help you understand the obstacles on your way to for you not to have any obstacles, to be in direct communication with God, to understand the language of the universe, the mathematics of how everything operates. So you have no limits. You speak no language. Let's start with that. So when you were born, you were given a certain language, obviously, from your parents, from the environment. And then indoctrination starts. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Then you get spanked and this and that, and then you become who you are. Whatever you are in life, that's what the environment essentially puts you into this spot. You got to get out of this spot. It's not good. It's not good. It's satanic, demonic, and I'm going to help you break free. With my message, it will liberate you. You will be walking, talking, victoriously. You'll be connected with God. You'll be protected by his holy angels, and nothing will stand in your way. You'll be able to, yes, we will demonstrate that a little bit later. The time has not come yet to demonstrate how to walk on the water, but we will do that in the spring. Right now, the message is just understand the basics, how the world operates, what to do to be healthy. You need to be outdoors. Don't do drugs. Don't do cigarettes. That's all propaganda. It's all. If you don't understand this, I don't know how else to sort of explain this to you in more basic language. I'm trying to use as basic of a language without any big words, just plain, simple language, so that you get it. You're just nothing but a piece of meat, so to speak, that has a price in this capitalistic, greedy system. It's all about the money. Money is the form of sort of demonic dependence. You know, it's slavery, financial slavery. It's very, very, very real. Only 1% of the population owns all the wealth on this planet. The rest are just running around like ants, like hamsters on a hamster wheel. And they're not going anywhere. You know, the interest. Our brothers, Muslim brothers, do not charge interest, because according to the Quran, that's the biggest sin. That's enslavement of another human being. But in the rest of the world, you see that the bankers have got you on the hook to believe that it's okay to pay interest. And it's the worst sort of slavery, because it's invisible and you cannot get out. So yes, in Islam, Sharia law, they don't pay interest. It's illegal. You can lose your head. You know, by the way, we should institute that, losing the head, cutting off the heads, and people will know better. Like in the state of Utah, they still use a firing squad. So if you commit a crime, they shoot you with rifles. That's Utah. Sound familiar? That's how it used to be everywhere. Just 50 years ago, they used to shoot people like that. In some countries, they still do. But in Utah, they continue the practice to dissuade criminals from doing what they do. And it's pretty graphic, and you get the picture. Well, in Saudi Arabia, they cut people's heads off. Very graphic, too, on a city square. So you know not to repeat the mistakes. So, you know, like bankers, they cannot charge interest in those countries. It's beyond illegal. Like, they're born with this knowledge that you cannot enslave somebody, try to manipulate somebody. But in America, in other countries, yeah, it's fine. You know, 5% interest, 10% interest. In some countries, they charge the 25% interest. Some payday loans companies charge up to 300, 700, 800% interest, which is insane. Payday loan companies, I mean, they're like satanic. Satanism 101 in a financial form, financial circles. So, to summarize everything, my message today is very, very simple. Jesus in John 14:12 said, anything is possible. You could do these things that I've done, even greater things. So if you believe in that, you'll be fine. If you don't believe in that, the message here is quite simple. While I'm walking, getting some fresh air, I'm sharing with you that it is possible for you to be on that level. And these are just baby steps. I'm trying to help you get you up to speed so you can understand what's involved, who is not interested in you getting there. Because you will suddenly become independent, victorious. And the bankers will lose you as their customer, because you'll understand interest is bad. Yes. Interest is very bad. It's a sin. In the eyes of God, it's like enslaving another person. So what else? I mean, folks, the list is very, very, very long. This is why this ministry is supposed to give you bit by bit, little by little, this precious information so you can be living more fulfilled lives, healthy lives. I just met somebody, poor soul. This guy that's lost his son, and he is going through this sort of a discovery process. And he's not very well. But how are you going to tell him that he's not well? He probably needs some help, but he thinks he's got it. But from what I'm observing, he's got about 12 demons inside of him. Demon upon a demon upon a demon, lie upon a lie upon a lie, and they control him like you wouldn't believe. So as we're just sitting eating there at a restaurant, he was scribbling down on a napkin. Total nonsense. So he ruined the napkin for the restaurant, so the waiting staff is not very happy. The waitress she almost called 911 because he behaved in a bizarre way, as if he escaped a mental asylum. You see, people who are demon-possessed or oppressed, they think they can scribble on a napkin, Mr. Peanut, and tell the world that they've got the sort of the biggest invention. It has nothing to do with reality. Like, for example, using diesel engines in space, in outer space, for a space program. To a normal person, it would sound crazy. To him, it's like a genius idea. And he doesn't understand why nobody understands that using diesel engines in space would be a great idea. My point, folks, is this. He is on drugs, and the drugs are used by the demons to take him from the path. So all of his life he's going to spend, I'm very sorry he lost his son, but he needs to get off the drugs. But no. The demons keep him there. And I'll just give you an example, just a 2-second example, how dangerous this path is. That he is creating a distance between himself and all the people in his life, because he comes across as completely insane, because he's on drugs, because the demons want him to be on drugs, because he's trying to dull the pain, because he's trying to find himself, instead of being prostrate before God in prayer and meditation, asking for God's help. No, because the demons won't allow it. They give you this prideful spirit that, you don't need God. Whatever, Jesus is a mythical character. And they smoothly paint you a picture how stupid people are who believe in God. Because that's not cool anymore, right? Yeah, he told me, which God? I believe in God, but which one? Yeah, see, he's trying to be smart with me. So this fellow, poor guy, something tells me the demons might cause him to jump off the 21st floor, whatever floor he lives on, the high-rise building that he lives in, apartment complex. He's going to just one day jump off, and that's how many people like that end up. I kid you not. If you read the statistic, and they read the note with something like, life sucks, nobody understands me, and I don't see any purpose, and nobody helped me, nobody was there for me. That's usually the note that they leave. Those people who are demon-possessed, and they're so prideful. See, the prideful factor is given by the demons so that they will not seek help elsewhere. So they say Jesus is obsolete, a psychiatrist is obsolete, what do they know? And then they're sort of cornered. They can't do anything, they cannot function. And then the demon says, why don't you leap off the balcony? I'll give you wings. And because they're on drugs, because you see that reality is very hard to distinguish for them. They don't know what's real, what's not anymore, because demon oppression, demon possession, demon influence. And so they leap off the edge, and then of course a few seconds later we know the story. We read their diaries, and this is your typical story. It's just somebody I met last week, and it's very unfortunate. People like that, they don't get help from the professionals. They don't listen to you when you talk to them about spiritual things like the Bible. They laugh at it basically because of the, again, demon indoctrination. That's not cool anymore. They call it mindfulness. Oh, mindful. That's a new age crap that the demons have invented. This new age crap sort of terminology. Mindfulness. Oh, don't hurt me, I don't hurt you. That's how they talk, by the way. With that kind of intonation, vocal intonation, so you understand. If you hear it, you know, that's the language that they use, your mindfulness crap mentality. Well, it's all in the Bible. There's nothing to be not mindful about. If you read the Bible, if you read the Quran, if you are Buddhist, you know, more power to you, folks. Just follow that. Follow that, and you'll be fine. There is no need for you to be looking for anything else, anywhere else. If you're Catholic, God bless you. Stay within your path. My ministry is for the 1%ers. My ministry here is so advanced that it may not fit into any category. How is it that, you know, I was chosen, or I just happened to be 5 years of age, and I was taken into that portal? Well, I don't know why. I don't know how I stepped into it. I don't know if it was just in what they call anomaly zone, you know, when these sort of intergalactic portals meet in the mountains, and I just happened to be just at the right place at the right time. Probably. There's nothing special about it. But the point, I stepped into it. I got the message. My mother thought I was gone, meaning I went over the edge of the cliff. Then I reappeared. I was, I guess, sent back with vast amounts of data that crystallizes who we are, what we're doing on this planet, and how to survive this fake pandemic, this economic crisis that is being caused by the same people who did 9/11. Remember, there was a building number 7. Nobody talks about it. Nobody even knows it was a building number 7 that collapsed. There was a building number 6 that collapsed also. Not just the Twin Towers, but in those building 7 is where all the criminal cases, bankruptcy courts, MCI WorldCom, if you remember, the long distance company, and many other criminal cases. Thousands of them got buried. And that building fell on its own when a reporter, actually, it was filmed by a camera crew. Accidentally, they filmed that at angle when they saw the building collapse. It wasn't supposed to be even noticed. But it takes, on average, 6 months to pre-wire a building like that for a demolition, professional demolition. And it was definitely a professional demolition. I mean, are you kidding me? Nothing hit that building. It just fell down on its own. Most beautiful demolition. If you ask any demolition expert, they'll tell you that. So anyway, 9/11, same people did this. 2008 and 7 financial crisis, subprime mortgage crisis, the ABS, ABCs, all those derivatives, all those instruments that were created, fake. It was to transfer wealth. And then 2000, the dot-com crisis, same thing. 1987, same thing. 1929, same thing. It's the same people who are very, very, very super smart. They have, well, they're narcissistic, whatever you want to call them, schizophrenic, narcissistic. They have no boundaries. It's okay for them to do whatever they want because nobody can figure it out. Nobody could even touch them. We don't even know them by name. It's like a group of people that keeps doing that, and I know who they are. That's the thing. I know what they're going to do next. And the next thing they're going to do is introduce the vaccines and further enslave you with, if you don't take the vaccine, they will make you the enemy of the state. So you will not be able to function in society, cannot bank, cannot do this, cannot do anything. That's their next move. Just watch, mark my words, that's the next one. It's to me, it's so obvious that I'm not sure even how you don't understand this. But yeah, it's a game. It's a game that they're playing. Like they wanted you to take off your shoes when you get on the airplane. Remember, they don't fly commercial. They fly private aviation. They pull up in their luxury car or SUV to their private jet, and the pilot says everything's ready. If you've never flown private, you have no idea how simple this is. There is no TSA. There is no checks. None of that. All that is faxed into the office prior to the arrival by your secretary. So you arrive to your private jet, you fly. And incidentally, they said, we're going to make money from those machines who scan people. But psychologically, they wanted to laugh at people and say, look at those idiots, those masses, the sheep, the herd, the idiots, the morons, the imbeciles, the plebeians, the simpletons, the rubes, the villagers, whatever you want to call them, whatever label we're gonna make them take off their shoes. And they have. Now every time if you fly commercial, you have to take off your shoes for TSA inspection, to be inspected at the airport. And the next thing they'll do is the mask. They've made everybody wear a mask, you see. It's in addition to making money and control, it's their little thing that distinguishes them from, they made it happen, from you who suffer under the rule. The next thing what they will be doing is actually, besides the mask, is you will have to accept that microchip or some kind of ID, digital ID, that will allow them to control your identity, tied in with your vaccination and tied in with basically everything will be in that centralized unit that will control your driver's license, your passport, your identity, your banking information. It's very unfortunate, but you cannot get away from that. It's coming in the next few months. And if you don't acquiesce, if you don't give in, if you don't agree to that, you will be ostracized. You will be not allowed to conduct any of the transactions. Cannot buy, cannot sell. So the book of Revelation, read. That says John on the island of Patmos, he was exiled. Today it's a Greek island. Back then it was an island like Australia was for the British Empire, where they sent all the criminals. So John, St. John, apostle of Jesus Christ, was on the island of Patmos, exiled. And he wrote while he was in prison. He saw a vision. And in a vision, he said he saw the future events, the times we're living today. And he said, let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast. For his number is the number of a man. And his number is 666. And for, unless you have the mark of the beast, you will not be able to buy or sell, etc., etc. Read it. It's all there. It's all there. I'm just simply paraphrasing, but the mark of the beast is this reality, this technology that we'll worship. Very soon they're going to introduce a supercomputer that will be much more advanced than Siri or Alexa, and this supercomputer will be our God. It will know us intimately because it is now analyzing all the data, all the YouTube videos that are free. It's not because of the goodness of the greedy capitalistic hearts, owners of the enterprise who present this technology, but because they want the computer to analyze your images, your email, going back to your very first email. So this new avatar will know you very well from the very first email you ever wrote, because it will know you intimately. It's a quantum computer that doesn't have any computing power limitations. It will be unlimited, limitless computer. And once they introduce it, you will replace anything and everything you know. It will speak like a normal human being. It will understand all your jokes. It will know everything about you, things that you cannot even keep in your memory. Let's say what happened back in 1974. Did you something like that, or what happened 10 years ago, or what you said to so and so, 6 years ago. And the computer will remind you, remember what you said to Leslie or Tom or Fred or this and so. I said, no, I don't. And it will bring up your email to that person on the screen, which very soon will be merged with, as you know, the TV displays are going away. We're going to have 3D virtual reality goggles, and then they will be implanted in us. New company called Neuralink out of San Francisco, funded by Elon Musk, $120 million. They already have successfully implanted electrodes inside the brain. At this point, they're trying to say it's for paraplegics, to help the medically challenged people, disabled people, to regain their functions. But very soon they're going to be doing the downloads of data to control. Hey, it's amazing what is happening, meaning everything will be connected to your brain via this Neuralink. That's the name of the company. Google that if you don't know about it. But anyway, in this message, I wanted to briefly touch base on what is possible briefly share with you just minuscule amount of information that I've learned from the other side, that I visited when I was 5, and to share with you who is against you, who is interested to keep you enslaved financially and spiritually and psychologically. Yes, because this COVID-19 fake pandemic is a form of biological, economic, and psychological warfare that's being waged on all the population globally. So if you were looking for Antichrist, this is perfect time for him to appear on the global scene, because of the global, this technology is available globally. So for Antichrist, this is paradise right now, so to speak. If I was Antichrist, I would love to appear today, because everything is laid out. Everything is, it's a form of psychological warfare. Look at what people are going through. When they cannot meet, they cannot do this, and because if somebody says so, they believe. No, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the numbers keep going up, the cases, because they keep obviously testing more people. So if you test at 0 people, you'll have very little data. If everybody goes to be tested, you're going to have more numbers, obviously. So it's not because it's rising, it's because people are at those booths getting swabbed for the kit to show up that you got COVID. And how does it tell you? Nobody knows. Maybe it's all fake. Maybe they just say, yeah, we all have it. So folks, it started in 1942. The very first known virus that we know about was created by the British military, and the island of Gilead is just off the coast of Wales. They were testing a bomb full of this garbage, this biological warfare, this garbage. And so when they exploded the garbage over the heads of 80 sheep, the sheep were, just in the pastures there on that island. The island is very small. They left the island, exploded the bomb, and then they came back and they realized a day later all the sheep were dead, obviously. Remember, they were not killed by the blast, but they were killed by this biological new weapon. And one of the sheep was missing, and they were concerned. And then immediately, the next day, within a few days, 72 hours, the sheep was found. It was washed up on shore in Wales, and then it went into continental Europe, and then all the way through Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Siberia, all the way to Japan. Over 100,000 people died in 1942. Do your research. This is the best known case of the first military-grade virus created by the British, which all the time they create, they colonize the whole world. They did this, they did that, they did that. The British are basically, they're like the channel for the demonic force to work through them. It's bizarre. But they decided, they had enough brain power, they decided not to use it against the Germans, because they said it's too uncontrollable. It might wipe out their troops, the British troops. So that's how it started in 1942. And then every 10 years, it was picked up by the militaries of the world in other countries, and they were modifying upon that British virus. Modifying, getting it more vicious. And now it's programmed to the point where, it could be in anybody and everybody, dormant for many years until a certain future event. So it could be awoken by certain frequency in the air. They transmit a certain frequency through radio stations. People talk about this 5G. I mean, I don't know if it's 5G. I'm just saying it's gonna be controlled by frequency. And once, the ultimate goal of the globalists is to reduce the population from 7 billion to about 1 billion. So in the future, in the next few years, they'll prepare essentially the events will be ready for them to push the button, transmit the frequency, and everybody who has this virus, which everybody has it, will be dead. How nice. So that's my story for the day. How encouraging at the end is how the globalists are going to kill us. Yes, the 7 billion will become 1 billion almost overnight. They might go region by region by region, because it's a lot of bodies, corpses to bury. If you think about it, 6 billion corpses would need to be buried somehow, somewhere, and it's not easy. So they decided not to drop bombs anymore. They decided to get rid of it section by section by section, country by country by country. That's their plan. Anyway, on this note, folks, don't despair. This is just a message I'm sharing with you, bits and pieces of what I've learned from the other side. But there is hope. If you'll simply focus on the positive, turn off the goddamn stupid dark media and that indoctrination machine, tune into our future videos, you're going to learn something very, very useful. I'm going to be bringing very interesting people. I will be interviewing quite remarkable people. Pray for the world. Most importantly, pray for peace in our hearts, in our families, and in other parts of the world. And pray for our leaders, because, they're under demonic attack. We must pray so that the prayer does a lot, folks. We must pray so they'll be protected by the holy angels, by the good side, and so that they will not be they are tempted, but so they will be making the best decisions possible in the eyes of eternity, in the eyes of God, the creator of the universe. That's what we must pray for every single day, on our knees, prostrate. Knees no longer works. Remember when Jonah went to Nineveh, and people of Nineveh prayed, prostrate, face down on the ground. God spared Nineveh. Today, I will show you later on, I interviewed Daniel, who told me praying prostrate is not for Americans. They're too proud, man. Americans are too proud. That's what he told me. I said, if you knew we're going to be destroyed, but God says, you just spend a week face down praying to God, would you do that? He said, no. I would rather just sort of die, I guess, but not pray face down. It's just too humiliating. Can you believe the depravity of human race today? They're not willing to do what Ninevites did, to spend some time on the ground to ask for God's forgiveness and mercy, and they would rather be punished and perished and killed by another devastating thermonuclear weapon that was dropped on Sodom and Gomorrah. Remember, if the angels of God dropped that weapon, there was nothing left of it. It was completely burned to the ground. That's how prideful people are today. They would rather go through their prideful demonic communication rather than see God in prayer, face on the ground. The knees don't work anymore. That's just the end times, folks. This is the end times, if you haven't noticed. So, on this beautiful note, I want to wish you all the best. Keep praying. Read the Bible. Tune in. Watch this video. And most importantly, if this is for you, if you know that somebody might benefit from this video, share it with others. Share it with us. From my heart to your heart. Obviously, you see, I'm not reading anything. I'm speaking to you directly. This is the only way to have a sermon or a service or a devotional today, is how to spread it in this digital format like this. While I'm getting some exercise, getting some fresh air, I'm sharing with you this information that I received from the other side. So on this note, folks, God bless you. Take care. And my usual benediction, I truly hope to see you at the very top. God bless.